we've reached a conclusion on the podcast.
Illegal!
Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 11. 11. And we are having a fun time.
Welcome back, everybody. This is week 11 here. Today we're going to talk about some
Fuck
things.
you, Brian. I'm hijacking it right now.
Oh,
No,
I dare you to. Oh, I dare you to.
And we're back!
Pretty much we got Ryan over here talking about some movies. So I'm going to hop in and talk about how everyday life can be a little bit better. We got Rob over there who's going to talk a little bit about some butt sex stuff. And then Ray's going to be like, I'm down.
Basically, I'm going to explain the effects of butt sex stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Stay tuned for that.
Make sure you make it to the end of this episode.
So what's going on in your life there, Rob, this week, this past week?
Murder, mayhem, mystery.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Some Scooby-Doo mysteries.
Scooby-Doo thing I do on the weekends. We solve mysteries. It's
Mystery.
usually fucking Old Man Withers, but, you know, it's still fun.
You never know.
That's good.
What do you guys got going on?
I'm just waiting on a TV. That's
That
all I have going on.
goddamn TV.
I'm just waiting on this 4K
I
TV.
know.
Just like buy my computer at Amazon. I'm like, oh, wait,
Just
wait.
refreshing.
Yeah. I'm
Maybe
like
it's a
Scott
day
Pilgrim
sooner.
when he's sitting at the door waiting for his package. Are you waiting for your package?
That you just ordered?
Yeah. What about you, Ray?
I've been doing a lot more exercise. Been getting outside a lot more.
Oh, yeah?
Been shooting my bow. It's been a pretty good time.
Joe Rogan over here. Shooting his bow.
Shooting my bow. No, it's fantastic. I've been having a real good time with it. It's like an old.
Jesus Christ.
It's just underground.
If we don't do that at least once out of every 3 or 4 episodes, we become cursed.
It's all over me.
It'll be fine.
Oh, my
That's what she said.
It's so wet.
So yeah, I got a bow. That's the the gist of that.
All right.
Bo Bridges over here.
Bow Bridges.
I tried the murder mayhem mystery thing. Didn't pan out for me, so I'm just trying
not
to
for
stay
everybody.
inside as much as possible.
That's good.
Trying to do as little steps as
Sun's
possible.
back out again.
And whatever Ryan said, the
Real
opposite
nuisance.
of that too.
The opposite. Okay, that pretty much sums up our week then. I'm going to jump right into my topic, the movie industry. And
For it.
Racket.
I'm against it.
what?
Next topic.
And the end. See you guys next week. So I'm going to preface the topic of us just going over our favorite movies, our least favorite movies, with just a few facts, and yeah, that's about it. The film industry revenues about $11 billion per year.
Oh.
Which
billion.
I was honestly expecting a little bit higher.
That was too.
This is also just
You
the
just
box
had
office.
Avengers just hitting a billion alone.
Right, I know. So like this is just like box office results. So it's different if you're including like merchandising and like
Sure.
Purchases,
all of that
Netflix,
stuff.
all the streaming options, I'm sure.
Yeah. So it's been a slow climb. It was $5 billion in 1990. So I don't know. I expected the jump from like 18 years or 28 years to be at least
But also
a
the
lot more
budget
than-
for films
Yeah, it's gone
has
up.
gone up incredibly.
Also, the population has as well. So.
Yeah, well, it's also not just that. I think it's also the fact that everybody can consume that media at home as well. So
sure.
the box office
Exactly,
isn't
yeah.
doing as well. Yeah, it's growing,
Yeah.
sure, but I bet there was a bigger boom before everybody had a TV in
Because
the
I
house.
think all of us will agree, if you had that option, you kind of mentioned in the last one, to go see the newest Infinity War in the theater on the same day or stay at home on the same day, I'm going to stay at home.
Yeah.
As much as I love the movie
yeah.
theaters, I want to stay at home.
I'd rather watch it on my fucking phone.
But
at
if I had
home.
the option to go into like a movie theater and knowing it was just like 10 people that were going to be in there,
Right.
I would also do that.
Right,
Like
yeah,
if it was
those
just like
seats.
10 like lazy boys
Oh, yeah.
and you just knew like your chances of just it being loud, obnoxious, and dumb.
Yeah.
But let me ask you
Exactly.
this: would you pay like $30 a ticket for it? for like a crazy, like really exclusive.
No.
I mean, it would have to be
Experience
more.
like that?
It would have to be more than just seats. Like
Yeah,
it would
the
have to be
standard.
like a fucking goddamn watching it on a planetarium or something.
Yeah, I would have to have
Yeah.
control of the remote for $30.
right. Yeah.
Like if
I
I gotta
also-
take a piss real quick, I want to be able to pause that shit.
Yeah.
I also
Like,
get to
yeah.
play a match of PUBG at the end of it, and everyone has to watch that game to the movie until it's over for an extra 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So, all right, there's a business idea here. moving forward.
Moving forward.
I don't know if that'd make up for the loss of having 50 to 100 seats in the
Yeah.
theater, but
No, you don't lose it. You just have smaller theaters.
Some totally unrelated facts or just weird things.
fact, man.
O.J.
Ooh.
Simpson almost played the Terminator instead of
Well, he was fantastic in
Arnold.
Naked Gun films. I think he was in.
Apparently, James Cameron thought his persona was too pleasant to be the
I'll prove
Terminator.
him wrong.
We know why.
Who knows, man? Maybe if that would have happened, things would have turned out different for him too.
The same day he was just driving home, like, too pleasant, motherfucker.
He gets a call on his heavy ass
you
19
too
fucking
pleasant.
80s cell phone, and his wife's just bitching at him right after that happens.
You know what? You know what?
I heard
Show
you're too pleasant.
The sound of velociraptors communicating with each other in Jurassic Park is actually the sound of tortoises mating.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't even
Let's go to
believe
favorite
that.
films.
Joe Pesci also bit Macaulay Culkin in the fingers when he was like doing that gag where he's like, I'm gonna bite off all your fingers. Yeah, he actually bit him, like, apparently. I can see him do that because it's Joe Pesci. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
and Joe Pesci's gross. Ray looked astonished by that. He looked over and he was like, Macaulay, no! He was very upset at that fact.
That's what it was like.
He did what?
Joe Pesci, you asshole.
That's alright, man. I
Jesus.
understand.
Good.
I'd have done it too.
All right, those are totally unrelated. What I want to talk
favorite
about.
movies.
Yeah.
Favorite movies.
Favorite movie and least favorite movie. Singular.
Favorite movie
Favorite
and least favorite
movie.
movie.
Least
Now-
favorite movie.
Does a saga count as one movie? Can
Yes.
Star Wars be my favorite movie?
No.
Yes.
It
What?
would have to be one individual
in,
one.
in my terms of like what we're picking, like if you wanted Empire.
So you're telling me I
Original
gotta
Star Wars,
choose
yeah.
between like 4, 5, and 6 for my favorite movies here.
Yeah, for sure.
Lucky number's 11. And for the least favorite movie, I know you just told me that I can't do this, but anything that has Will Ferrell as the lead.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
I'll go with Talladega Nights if I have to choose one.
Wow. There's some bad movies out there.
I would rather watch Sharknado like, over and over again than have to watch
Sharknado
Talladega
6000.
Nights.
6,000 for
That's
sure.
gross.
What about you, Rob? What do you like? What do you dislike?
I mean, everyone knows my favorite movie is Talladega Nights. So.
This is not rude.
No, it's not.
I can't. That's like one of those things I can't pick. Like a favorite. I wrote down some on here.
Yeah, like ask me on a different day, you'll get a different answer for
Yeah.
sure.
I'll rattle off some real quick.
You have to choose one.
I'm gonna rattle off 3.
God damn
I
you.
got 2. And these are just what I came up with, like pretty much on the way over here without really thinking about it, because like my favorite movies are just my favorite movies in no particular order.
Yeah.
But I got The Raid Redemption and also Ninja Assassin. Just
Interesting.
both really enjoyed those
I don't
movies.
think I've seen either.
I don't think I've seen either of those either.
I would recommend both of them.
What do you not like?
And the worst film in my opinion is The Last Airbender.
Never
that
seen
is-
it.
that was
I heard
pretty
it's
bad,
The worst
That's pretty
fucking
bad,
movie.
too.
They had
Put
one of the
Will
best
Ferrell in that
stories-
movie, and it would have been god awful.
The best stories ever fucking told, and all you had to do was just
Tell the
record that story, and
Yeah.
you just fucked it up so bad. Same with that Dragon Ball Z movie too.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah, so
it was-
it's just like
it's pretty
such a
bad.
great story. Just tell it. Don't
Right?
change everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Plus,
make
it's a
any fucking
cartoon. Why are you
sense.
trying to do a live action of the stupid
Yeah.
cartoon? Well, I guess Airbender is that same
Same
exact-
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Really got fucked up.
What about you, Ray?
Well, I guess my most favorite movie that I could just like watch over and over again would probably be The Boondock Saints. First
That's a
one.
good one too.
Not bad.
Just fucking love that movie.
I think it's a little overrated, but I like it.
I don't know.
Shots fired. Ray's triggered. He doesn't know where he's going now.
Macaulay Culkin.
What about the worst one, man?
I heard they really shot off his finger in that movie.
I don't know. I don't know what the worst movie ever is. I can't even think of it.
You know you have.
Boondock Saints 2.
No, I actually I did like it.
No,
It
it's
wasn't as
alright.
good as
It
the
was
first one. You know what? Actually, no. The worst movie was the latest Star Wars movie because it was just fucking.
Worst movie ever.
That's
really.
gonna get a lot.
Yeah, dishonor to the franchise.
What do you?
Dishonor.
Why?
Dishonor.
Like, you're talking 8?
Huh?
Yeah.
You're talking episode 8?
Yeah.
Episode 8, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why do you think it's dishonor to the franchise?
Because
And the worst movie ever was what we were
Yeah,
talking
for
about.
sure.
I haven't even seen it, but
well,
I feel that's rather hard.
I think it's
Can't
the
be
worst
that
movie
bad.
ever from the perspective of
A
like
fan?
it. Yeah, of a fan of all the other Star Wars movies. It's just like there's no
Take out the
progr-
fact that Leia survived in space. What else is wrong?
Well, I don't like how they dishonorably like got rid of Admiral Akbar in like one scene in like 3 seconds, and you never see him again. That was kind of bullshit. And then I also didn't. I mean, it's
was a
realistic,
trap.
but it was it was a trap. But no. And then the other thing I don't like is that like Rey hasn't had to learn anything to become who she is. She's just been like instantly badass and beating the absolute
that too.
like. Could you
Threw a saber
imagine
around
if
for a
Luke would have
bit.
just walked up to Vader right after
He learned.
Obi-Wan gets destroyed by him and just like and whoops his ass, and it's like, all right, carry on.
I mean,
Like,
Well, that's kind of the goal, from what I understand. Is like
That's the
he
goal,
was
but it's
super
not-
terrified because
but
he's
it's
never
not-
seen anybody with that much. Well, he's seen that much power in one person once before, and it didn't scare him enough that time.
okay, let me put it in a different term. If in Lion King, baby Simba would have just like
These are all movies I haven't seen.
destroyed his Uncle Scar in like 1.5 seconds.
I think
As
a
a
more
baby.
realistic analogy would be like
Probably called Lion
almost
Prince.
like let's say baby Simba decided to go hang out with some potheads and
what? How's this
Timon
better?
and Pumbaa.
None
I don't
of
know
this is
because that totally
relatable in
happened,
any way.
and then came back when he was a teenager, like fully grown, because Rey's not a baby.
Yeah, but she hasn't had to learn anything. She just has all these.
She had a badass training before. Like she was already a
She had, like,
badass
I heard
before.
She had like a
she even knew
slight
about
training.
before.
She like learned she was cool. And
She was
then
like
had
a
slight
scrapper
training
and-
montage. And
She
then all of a
had. She
sudden
was like a junkyard mechanic, a fantastic junkyard mechanic, and
So was Luke.
never.
basically.
Yeah, but the thing is that he actually had to practice with a
He
lightsaber
carried- yeah,
before he could ever
Yeah, it's kind of true.
like put anything on Darth Vader.
But he also never really wielded a weapon like the staff or anything that she had before. She was already proficient
like
at
a
weapons.
desert
And I also
farmer.
think that some people are better or have a better aptitude at learning new skills anyways.
You know what? I'm not. Let's like what.
We just
There's
like,
one more thing I need to point
took your
out.
topic here.
No, I think that's all for sure wrong. But beyond that, we're not even talking about that. The other thing I really hate about this movie is how they portrayed. Yeah, fucking blue milk. That fucking how they portrayed Luke Skywalker was complete bullshit.
I'll give you that. Like Luke was even like
Well, he
Mark
went through some
Hamill was
stuff.
just like, I don't really even like this Luke.
Yeah, bravest, most like heroic character in the Star
cynic-
Wars saga,
cynical dude.
and yeah, he's this grumpy old bitch of a fucking man and sipping on blue milk still.
No one uses the Force but me.
It's just,
As I imagine is something he said in that movie.
I don't know. It was
Pretty
very. It was so whiny. It was not even Luke Skywalker. It was just as if they were just killing off the franchise so they could push some sort of. I don't even know what. It's just like
It's almost like they want to continue making movies forever, so they have to get rid of old characters to
Yeah.
make that happen.
no, it's not even that. You could have still gotten rid of them. But it's just like the way they did it was so dishonorable to the franchise and terrible.
So what you're saying is that movie ruined all of the Star Wars and the whole franchise is shit, and you want nothing to do with it.
That's what I heard him say.
I'm too very close to that point right now. I'm gonna give them the next movie. I'm definitely gonna go see it, but
You do realize
I'm not probably gonna be happy about
The
it.
dark
Battle-
side, Ray.
Battlefield Earth exists, and you like didn't say that was your worst. Anyways,
I've never seen that.
it's awful.
Oh,
John Travolta. Yeah. No. Well, I'm gonna finish it off with mine. My favorite movie, as you can guess, is gonna be a romantic comedy, and it's gonna go by it now. It's definitely a horror film. 1979.
Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, Punch Drunk Love. Yeah. It's John Carpenter's first Halloween movie. Okay. And horror classic. That's my favorite, and my least favorite is gonna be No. Rob Zombie's Halloween. No. It's up there. Rob Zombie's Halloweens were awful, but is gonna be Grown Ups. And if I had to choose a second one, it'd be Grown Ups 2. Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Kevin James, all the pieces of shit in this movie, and it's just a big fart joke. I hate it so
What about
much.
what about those other ass movies like
There's a lot, but
Ridiculous Six or whatever it is on
if,
Netflix?
If I see a movie and I am comparing it to a worse movie, this is my movie I compare it up against. I'm like, Grown Ups is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure there's worse ones that exist, like Battlefield Earth is right there, but as ones I've seen, yeah, it's awful. So that's what I choose. Pretty much sums up my category there with the film industry. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, learned a little bit more about us. I know we don't really delve into our personal lives much, but give you an insight. So onward.
Fuck you, Disney.
On to you there, Brian.
Well, my topic's more or less just kind of a conversation that I think we all should have about stuff that we use or in our everyday life that we're trying to make better. Because it seems like we've done a lot of predicting the future on this podcast, and I think that having this conversation might trigger some of these things to happen. So I figured we might as well give it a shot.
Laser condoms.
Laser condoms. That's what I'm talking about. Like, oh man,
Just evaporate the jizz, so I don't have to worry about it.
I don't.
What do you have to worry about?
That's
Do
the condom.
you rip your condom
feel like
inside
this
out?
whole
How do you
section
take your
is
condom off? We need to have a conversation. Sex Ed 101, apparently.
He's running around the house with a condom full of semen. Just like,
What do I do with this
what is
thing?
this?
Rob, let me borrow your laser.
I need the lasers. Where are the lasers? You can already see the infomercial for it. Are you tired of this happening? So, laser condoms. Get them at that as seen on TV portion of Bed Bath & Beyond.
God.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. I have two really big things that I think need to be kind of addressed that could probably make everybody's life way easier. The big thing we kind of touched on another episode is just wireless charging in general.
Yeah, for sure.
The FCC recently cleared a new company called Energous. They have a product called
Energous.
Watt Up, which is
What up?
an awful name.
Hate everything about it.
But essentially, it's just this device that hangs out. You have to put a small device into the charging port of whatever you decide to charge, and it can charge wirelessly up to 15 feet.
That's fantastic, because that's exactly what I was gonna be my thing. Was just like, there needs to be a way that just like you see those breakaway cables where just like the part stays inside the phone and the part just but instead of having a part that's magnetized, it's charging from the port over there, and you just have to go pop it in like your gaming headset, so you don't have to worry about it, and you're just pop
Well,
it in and
ideally,
you're
like
good to go.
these little tiny bits would only be $30-40 a piece, and then they would all just be compatible with the system that you get. So
You
you
charge
could
all
just
of them.
have and then you can actually open up the app and tell it which one you want to give power to most.
Nice.
And prioritize and deprioritize different things. So like, let's say you are gaming, you want your Xbox controller to have pretty much top priority, because I mean, if it's low, you need that. But chances are, if that's in all the time, it's just going to be fully charged all the time anyways, which is going to destroy battery life. But when's the time that you're going
This
to?
is a company you said that
Yep.
it's coming.
Yep, it's a company called Energous. I shared the link up there if you guys want to check that out. I'm ready to not have to worry about cables. Like, that would be amazing. The only thing I still want is a headphone jack, and eventually once Bluetooth quality gets up there, the best of them, I'm down with that too. But the other big thing is going to be stoplights. I realized today that at least in Michigan here that we have a long way to go. I see a lot of them just blacked.
The whole road system in Michigan,
road
period.
system for sure, but I just think the immediate improvement could come from stoplights. Like, I just had the thought of
Just give us stoplights, man.
how often does it happen where like you get stuck behind like a big semi or something like that in a relatively suburban area, and you can't see the stoplight, so you have to rely on the vehicles in front of you to start moving before you
Right.
can actually see the stoplight.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Stop tailgating.
Or like
he's
he's blowing through a fucking red light, and you don't know, you can't fucking see.
Right. So you just kind of assume and you want to follow
It's
traffic,
like,
but
oh, he's going through. It must be fine.
That's like just red.
So my proposition is, all you stoplight makers out there, instead of having just
Stoplight
like
makers.
one above each lane, why don't you turn that whole fucking cable into a light strip?
I actually seen something on Facebook like 4 days ago that was just that, and then down the side that supported the thing, it also had the color of the light.
I don't give a shit what Facebook says.
Just letting you know.
No, I got you. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. See, just from bringing it up in a topic of conversation, like I was able to go back in time and make somebody do that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. We're good.
Kind of like how I thought about the light bulb. Anyways, you guys have anything else that you guys think should be updated in society that's just kind of been overlooked for way too long?
No.
Nothing? You think everything's perfect the way it is?
We're good.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot, for sure.
No, there's so much. I just
Yeah.
want to have a very quick conversation about maybe
Laser condoms.
laser condoms.
No, I think our transport in general, like the
Yeah, for
modes
sure.
of the vehicles, like how they're powered, is kind of bullshit compared to, how far we've come. I seen and shared again on Facebook this stupid meme the other day about how far technology has come from like 20 years ago to how this phone is today, and how many things this has replaced and we no longer have or use.
Yeah.
But this car that we've had has been basically the same with the input of fuel injection and then a computer to control it all. Those are the only real added things outside of like doodads, things that are
There's no real advancement.
no, they're like, oh, this air conditioning's slightly better. Oh, here's a screen, so now you have a smartphone in your dashboard. Oh, now here's a it's like
So
all
being like,
add-on
no
shit.
more
It's
gas
not.
or oil. We figured that out.
Yeah,
Like, well, now we have XM radio.
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, to counter that, there's actually a lot, like, for autonomous vehicles and then putting all the cameras and sensors in to
yeah,
make...
but they still get like 30 miles a gallon.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, the engines themselves and stuff, yeah, that's still the same.
That's the main
if
point
my
I'm
car
getting
can
at, I
drive
guess.
itself,
Gotcha.
it can get 2 miles a gallon. I don't give a shit at that point, as long as it's driving itself.
Depends
Right.
how much you're paying.
I want to say in 10 years, autonomous vehicles are just going to be everywhere.
Oh, for
Well,
sure.
what about in some places? I had a buddy who was talking about like in certain cities where owning a car doesn't make a whole lot of sense, where you
Yeah.
would pay for a monthly service, where like you'd pay like a monthly Uber service, and
Yeah.
you can just call them when you need them, and they take you where you need to go, and then
Elon
you're
Musk
just
was
back
talking
home.
about
For
doing
sure,
that
that'd
with
be
a lot of Tesla owners
fantastic.
that don't use their car all the time.
Yeah.
Like they would have like a ride share program,
Oh, yeah.
and the people who own the Teslas can get paid a small fee for it. It would just literally someone would summon it and it would leave and drive to them. You get in and tell it where you need to go, and it would drive there, and then it'd drive back to its home base.
I would
Yeah.
hate that though.
Yeah, same
Just
here.
the ability, like, don't get like if I had two vehicles, that'd be one thing, but to give my vehicle to somebody else for
I'm
use-
totally
Oh
okay
shit!
with
I
that.
gotta run. You're like running out the door. and-
turns out I just stabbed
your car
myself or
starts
something like
pulling
that. I
down
need
the
to go to the
driveway.
hospital.
Yeah, and right here, you're like limping to your car. All of a sudden, it just
you
backs
you,
out.
you
and
have to
stuff
call
like
your
that.
own car from Uber to take you to the hospital.
But yeah, I mean, that I think that'd be a cool concept, but it'd only work in certain cities. But
For sure.
depending on how much it was, but that'd be nice just to be like,
Or even in small
if you were
cities, if there was like
designated
just
driver all
a
the time.
like a small parking lot of just say a fleet of like 20 cars that just helped out a small town.
Yeah. Well, they're already talking about like doing that for autonomous vehicles for like Pizza Hut and stuff. They had those in I think there was a Black Mirror episode, which it showed an autonomous Pizza Hut truck, and some guy tried to jump in front of it and like tried to sue because of that truck hitting him, and he's just like, oh, trying to sue Pizza Hut or whatever the pizza company was in Black Mirror, and like it was just all autonomous. You go up to like the bus that drives you your pizza, you punch a few things, pizza comes out, you grab it, and then it takes off to the next customer. So companies are wanting to invest a lot of money into autonomous vehicles, whether it's Uber. I mean, a lot of delivery companies rather pay a vehicle instead of a person.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So
Which
it'll
just
be interesting.
kind of makes a lot of sense.
For sure, yeah. How about toenail clippers or fingernail clippers? That's been the same for like 70.
Yeah, I
100
want a device that just sticks. Like I just put my hand in there and then it just like
Laser
rips all
clippers.
my
We
fingers
need a
off.
laser
clippers. Yeah.
Clippers.
Yeah.
I'm all about the lasers.
I don't really think that there's much you can do to improve toenail clippers and fingernail.
No,
Now
not
with
really.
that
I know
fucking
there was,
attitude, there isn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
something that I know existed for a really long time, but like I just witnessed it like for the first time 2 years ago, and it was the nail clipper that's got like the base to it. So like when you clip your nails, they all just like go into the base, and then you just empty it out instead of them flying all over the
Yeah.
fucking place.
And then you just walk
No,
through your
just like-
living room.
Yeah, I was just like,
Step on.
how has this not existed before? And then turns out it's just existed forever, and I just never knew about it.
Well, let's stay on the topic of clipping nails. Do you guys? Well, I guess just a fun fact. It sounds like maybe you guys
Bite
don't know
versus
this,
clip.
but do you guys clip your nails right after you get out of the shower?
I just do mine at really
sometimes
random times.
Yeah, mine's completely random.
toenails.
Okay, because if you don't want them to fly all over the place, do it right after the shower. They're a little bit softer and malleable, and they won't like.
And I'm just gonna
Freak
put
out.
this in, since we're on the topic.
I just try to angle mine like shrapnel, like just shoot people in the
Don't
face.
clip your nails in public.
Oh,
I feel like that's a fair thing to.
you shouldn't even have to
Not
say
do.
that.
And for that matter, don't bite your nails in public either.
I'm
Yeah, I
upset
think
that I
that's
do have to
disgusting.
say it.
I mean,
Yeah.
if like you
Fucking
get
bite.
something, you got to get it off there. That's one thing, but
But people that like it's just like you're just biting like just so much bacteria and
You know, you have to bite it. They're just like,
I don't know,
just like
just the worst.
sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
for that matter, don't eat sunflower seeds in public.
Don't
Or
do
just
it.
eat them whole.
Why don't you stay inside?
Nobody go in public.
Just
let's not have a public anymore.
Or
you
just
know, we,
What was that?
yeah,
a sunflower seed, just eat it.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
it didn't look like a sunflower seed.
No, it looked more like a.
Laser condom.
Sunflower dick.
Wouldn't have to worry about it.
But Tom Segura was actually talking about that, and he's just like, I think we're just a few short years away from just like not ever leaving our house,
Oh, easily.
and just like no matter what you need,
Everything.
I order it. It's there
Yeah.
in 15 fucking minutes, and there's no reason you need to even fucking go outside.
Yeah.
Oh, I need gas in my car. Well, you ordered someone come pick up your car, put gas in it, and drop it back off in your house. Like,
Wall-E is way too accurate. We're gonna all be like on these lazy boys that fly around.
yeah, I actually haven't seen that.
You've never seen Wall-E?
But I've
it's
seen
so
that
good.
part. I've seen that
Yeah.
part where like all the
Like sodas
Fat
just immediately
assholes.
come to
Yeah.
them.
Basically,
64.
Idiocracy, like where we're at now. Idiocracy, which is basically like
everyone's like on a big
Right
ass
where we're
the
at
cruise
now.
ship.
transition period
and
to
then,
Wall-E.
yeah, and then you go to Wall-E.
They're like pretty much like a big ass cruise ship in space.
Yeah.
They're all
The
just,
question
like,
is, what happened in the transition? There's not. Is there a movie for that yet?
It's now.
That's right.
No, I don't think we're quite at the idiocracy point yet. We are fucking close.
I
but-
think we're.
If-
I
well,
don't know, man.
when
Well,
that-
I don't
when
know.
that
We're all
movie-
having this conversation,
when's the-
so we can't be there already.
Well, let me ask
That's
you
true.
this: when's the last time you guys have seen it?
Idiocracy?
Yeah.
Probably about a year or so ago. So.
Probably 2 or 3.
Okay. What about you, Ray?
I seen it was on the other day, but I didn't sit down and watch the whole thing. And it was the parts that I did see. I can't even recall exactly what they are. I just remembered like thinking like,
Too real? Too
They're-
real?
they're-
yeah,
well,
like
they're-
this was supposed to be mocking what it was going to be
well,
like.
Right, that's what I was gonna get at. Is when it came out, like I remember watching it and being like, "Oh, this is all pretty hilarious." But I watched it probably three years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, and it was less funny and more just sad because some parts were very true and some parts we've even gone beyond.
Yeah,
it was just like,
yeah.
oh, I wish things were still like that.
Right.
And it was just like it became this thing where we're just like, holy shit, this was supposed to be like hundreds of years in the future, and it's like 5 years ago now at this point.
Yeah, I
Like
can't
it's
wait
so
until
fucking bad.
Terry Crews is our next president. Can't wait.
We're fucking right there.
That would probably be. Not that it matters.
It's
I don't
pretty
know.
much The Rock, and he's
Yeah.
said he's running. So
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good end segment on
yeah.
that.
To hop back to the movie bit for just a second,
Yeah, sure.
something I just kind of forgot about that I at least want to throw in my top 2 or 3. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's all.
yeah, that was a bad one. Thanks for adding it.
Slap him in the face.
All right, I think it's battle time, gentlemen.
Battle time.
We got the battle,
The battle.
the King Championship Hero God. We're in week 4 here. We're gonna have potentially the guy from Law Abiding Citizen. So hope you've seen that.
Clyde Shelton.
The 5 people that seen that
Blake
movie.
Shelton, and the guy from Kung Fury. So I hope you've seen that.
Nope.
That's probably a no and a no for both of them.
Yeah.
But if you haven't watched either one of them, I definitely recommend Kung Fury.
Fury's
Law Abiding
pretty
Citizen
hilarious.
was okay for the one watch.
That's Law Abiding Citizen is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it myself. But
Kung Fury it's 30 minutes long and it has everything you need in a movie.
seriously,
Fully
watch that
satisfied in
shit.
30 minutes.
Kung Fury, you'll thank us.
And then we have
And then thank us.
in the comments
Green
section.
Boy Red X versus Yoda.
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter.
John.
John Smith, I think his name was.
John. It's actually John's John. I know.
John's John?
Yep. That's his.
Can someone confirm that?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
His human name is like John.
John Martin.
God damn it! Shut up.
John's John.
John's John.
I'm pretty sure it was just
well,
John
you better-
Smith, wasn't it?
You better.
That's his like human.
Yeah.
You better
form that
hope
he goes
that's not
into.
his.
Yeah.
That's not his name because he's gonna automatically lose this fight.
God damn it.
Yoda has this special power against everybody named John.
All right. So
I'm looking up all of his powers right now.
So we have law-abiding
John
citizen dude. What was it? Clyde Shelton.
Mm-hmm.
My dude, and I don't even know his name.
Is that really his name?
yeah, Clyde Shelton.
sounds like a badass.
And then we have Rob playing the part of Kung Fury.
All right. Set the
My
stage.
bicep.
It looks like the law-abiding citizen, your Shelton dude, is going first. So
You're Shelton, dude.
begin.
All right. So my first move actually happened. Probably. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
15 years ago.
15 years before the fight.
I whip out a gun and shoot you in the face.
Okay. Well, what I do is get a new face and
Plausible.
Jump into my
Definitely plausible.
Lamborghini Gallardo, ramp that bitch up, jump out of it onto the roof, and hammer you with 45 caliber pistol shots, all while crashing that bitch right into you.
Next battle.
Dang. That was fast.
Yeah. There was. I probably could have held my own against a couple people on this list, but
So
Kung Fury, man.
Rob is the victor.
Rob is the victor. Like I can't come back from a car crash. Turns out I dug a tunnel right to where I was.
I also vote for this obvious win, so I think it's unanimous at that point. So
I hope whoever edits this adds that fantastic clip from that movie when that happens.
Oh, that would be amazing.
guess who's gonna leave it out on purpose?
All right, so who won?
I'm gonna go with the Fury himself.
Fury.
Fury.
Macaulay, no!
It's a clean sweep for Mr. Kung.
Clean
Mr.
good.
Kung.
It's a fair call by a fair
All
judge.
right, let's get to this battle of the
That's good.
greens.
Speaking of Potfest,
Looks
John Martian.
John Martian.
John Martian.
John Martian Manhunter.
John's John is his full name, and I'll start this fight off by making my skin hard as steel. Your turn.
All right. I'm gonna start this out by also a defensive tactic. I'm gonna get into my my battle meditation, which increases my ability to use force powers.
Okay. I almost want to do more defense, but got to attack.
Is that John Jones? Is that
That's
how
what I
you'd say
thought it
that?
was actually, yeah.
I would. Basically, we're in the hyperbolic time chamber. I'm just gonna use my hurricane wind from my mouth because my basically I have the same powers as Superman, and just blow you away.
You're gonna blow me away.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that power.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I'm literally looking at a list of his powers. It doesn't
He
say
does.
anything about.
It's
He
part of
does.
their Martian like
He has
build.
Superman breath.
Yeah, he does.
It's part of his Martian build.
Yeah, they actually say that like the air ducts in his like skull allow him to be able to do that. He also
what
has
did he
heat
do?
vision. He has X-ray
You hit
vision.
him with the frost blast.
So
no,
is
just
it
the wind
cold?
blast.
It's just wind.
Wind,
Just
yeah.
wind.
It's just
blew
wind.
away.
Oh, okay. Well,
And what did? Go ahead.
basically, I just stood there and took the wind though with the force, and parted the wind as it passed around me. And it just it's the wind. And,
Enjoyed it a little bit.
yeah, I just made a force
What a-
bubble around me. and-
breeze.
His hair flapped in the wind like Fabio. Fabio? Is that what I was looking for?
I know we normally do like 2 moves, I think. But do you guys allow a third?
Oh well, ours
There's usually a third.
Okay, so a third.
Final volley.
Final volley. I grab Yoda by his gross little feet. I spin him around about 1,000 times, and I basically try to break your will with my telepathy, and I just basically slam you into the ground and start punching you in the face a bunch of times.
Well, that's fine, except for the fact that Yoda has an actual unbreakable will. And
his face is still breakable, though.
He's got a very breakable face.
He's got a very breakable face.
And ugly feet. Don't forget that.
But he doesn't have a breakable will. So at that point,
Face is broken, will's fine.
as you're slamming his face into the ground over and over again, he uses his force powers to basically just hit the on button on his lightsaber as you're slamming his face into the ground. And you get lightsaber through the chest.
Ooh. Great thing is, I have complete control of my whole molecular being, and I just shape shift so there's a hole goes right through me, and I'm fine. Your turn.
See, he does have regeneration here.
I do. I
Even if
basically
he did get stabbed in.
Martian Manhunter basically came back from just a severed hand, and his face was on the hand, and then he just completely regenerated himself.
Well,
So even if it did hurt me, I just.
I guess at this point, I reveal to you the fact that what you were fighting the whole time was a force. Was the force. It wasn't Yoda.
Ah.
And then
I'm pretty sure I grabbed you, so it can't be like.
it was the force, bro.
Can you grab the force?
If you know how to.
In that last shitty ass
I guess
movie,
more or less,
Kylo Ren
if you realize you
fought the
can.
force.
Like that's how it works.
Fair enough.
So if you could do a force projection and someone could touch it,
Yeah.
and like your hand wouldn't go through it.
They didn't touch the force projection in the movie, though. It was just all dodge tactics. So if I'm like
I mean,
trying
if
to
it's
do
anything
that,
like
Yoda literally
Loki,
set all those things on fire, and
True,
he did
yeah,
bop Luke on the head.
he did. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
like a field mouse.
like a field.
Yeah,
so
kind
lost
of.
in this
Almost
Star
exactly.
Wars
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Fucking bunny foo foo.
So yeah, I revealed that to you. And
I don't know end game to this at all.
You get one final
One final move for me.
final move because you started it, right? Or did he start
He
it?
started
You
it.
started it.
Okay, so one more piece.
One more piece.
Take it home.
One more piece.
Optic blast.
I basically just use everything that I have with me. I go invisible, I confuse you, go around you about 100 times. I use my telepathy to make you think you're fighting your best friend, Luke.
Oh.
You're confused and delirious, and then I just hit you with Ice Wind, and then I also hit you with my eye lasers, and then I just
Eye lasers.
shapeshift into
Optic blast.
no eye lasers,
Laser condom.
laser condom eye blasts. Then I just turn into a big hammer and I hit you with it as a shapeshift after you got hit by all of that.
all right.
A
Well,
Luke hammer.
in that event, Yoda definitely was not confused. This is a guy who trained Master Jedi for 800 years.
Yeah, true.
It's pretty old though.
Yeah.
So am I.
But he was also never killed.
Till now.
Until now.
Until maybe now, yeah. But basically, I absorbed all that energy just as well, just like he did with Force Lightning, and then projected it back at you.
I hit you with a hammer.
You hit me with your body, which I absorbed the force
okay.
of all that and projected it back at you.
Okay. And
Basically just threw you across the hyperbolic time chamber.
okay. And I think it's end of fight.
I guess so.
End of fight.
And
Time
scene.
up. Brian.
All right.
This
Well,
is a fancy battle.
Seriously, they're like very equal, so it was really hard to.
I'm so completely biased.
That's not fair.
Like, Yoda deserves this win, but he doesn't get it. Martian Manhunter takes it.
Like,
I'm not aware of Yoda's abilities, but he seems like a little green bug. I'll beat his ass, personally.
all right.
So I'm gonna say, John's gonna take it.
I'm gonna say Yoda. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely Martian Manhunter for sure.
Yeah, I think if the battle were to draw out for a lengthy period of time, longer than 4 moves, it would probably be Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. Yoda would normally kick a lot of people's ass for sure. Like anybody else that I picked on this bracket so far, Yoda would win.
Well, eventually, too, I think Yoda's energy is going to probably run out. I mean, his force powers are insane, but...
You should have looked up my weaknesses before this battle, just saying. If you would have said anything fire-wise...
Oh, yeah.
I would have been
forgot about
crippled. That's basically the Martian Manhunter's kryptonite.
I don't know. I would have had to do something special other than Jedi shit with it to make fire even, unless you count the lightsaber, some sort of fire.
I was going to say, in The Last Jedi, he literally lit that tree on fire, didn't he?
Yeah.
With lightning?
Yeah.
So you could just lit me on fire with lightning.
Well, that's true.
Anyways, I win.
But he's also a good guy.
Ryan's
He doesn't
first
use
win.
force lightning.
Finally.
Everybody, Ryan.
Hear that, that fucking... You gotta get that goal explosion with the kids and Rocket League and the noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Balloons pop out.
Perhaps if that last Star Wars movie wouldn't have sucked, Yoda might have won.
Right. All right, that was the end of this week's battle. Next week, it's going to be completely different. We are going to be including super fight cards that are going to add attributes to
We're doing
everybody.
this next week. for the
Yes.
rest of it.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought it was going to be for the
No, that's gonna be
after
the-
this 16.
For the final.
It's going to be
What?
for this next round, so we're going to be doing those, and then we're going to also change the battles into more of a discussion. So it's not like, my move did this, yours didn't do that.
I think that'd be ways.
So we're going to have more of a conversation about what we know about these people, what their
you
weaknesses
think
and
would
powers
happen?
are. Yeah, exactly. So,
I like it.
cool.
So
That's
get
next
ready
week.
for that. Little format change.
And if anybody
Full ass.
thinks of a better way besides a coin flip to beat a tie, let us know. We'll figure out some way to do that too. If not, it's going to be a coin flip.
A dollar flip.
Dollar flip. It's harder to do.
A dollop of days.
Why don't you just flip your thumb or your finger down to that subscribe button right now while you're at it as well.
Yes,
We'd really
yes.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
that
then
would
hit
be
the little
amazing.
bell.
That would be
You'll get
pretty cool.
notified when we're putting nonsense on the internet.
Subscriptions are amazing as well, but the number one thing you can do to help us out is to share it. That would be
Share
lovely.
this shit.
Please, please, please share it.
Share, like, subscribe. Yep.
Yeah.
Rob.
Tag people you hate in it.
No. Don't ever listen to Ray. Ever. Fuck YouTube. Fuck our listeners. Fuck everything. Fuck Rob. Anyways, talking about
Pretty
fuck Rob.
John.
John's John.
Fucking Denim Dan over here.
He took it personally. It's
I was-
like, oh, you son of a bitch. Talked about the denim.
No, but I was taking shit all
he took
day
it
about the
personally?
denim, the denim Dan comments before I
It's a
came
regular
over here. And
Joe
it's just-
Pesci
no.
finger bite.
I was at a Canadian convention.
Didn't have time to change.
CEO Levi Strauss.
Called me up.
Well,
Got inside pockets though, so that's
this is gonna go any kind of way. Inside pocket.
Write that down for later.
Yeah.
inside pocket.
Pocket. Check mark. Come back to that one. No, we're gonna talk about jobs. Where do we draw the line as far as like keeping jobs for the sake of keeping jobs, or like doing things more efficiently for the sake of just it's more efficient. Get rid of the jobs, or we got to keep the jobs because we need the jobs. First thing I wanted to bring up was Amazon Go. There's about estimated about 3.5 million cashiers in the country here, so you know if they get rid of them, that's 3.5 million jobs gone. But also seems like a more efficient way, depending on your definition of efficient. I would like to just go in, grab the shit, and walk out without having
easily.
to, wait in line and interact with some stranger who's asking me about the stuff I'm buying. But I know some people would disagree. Some people like that back and forth and interacting with people and
I
the
don't
pleasantries of
wanna
that.
go anywhere.
Okay.
And with the invention of, I guess technically invention, but there's a bunch of different delivery services you can get that just deliver groceries to your house.
Amazon Pantry, right?
Amazon Pantry's one. There's
Shipt.
another one right around here called Shipt. You can do it through Meijer.
That also has a human interface, though.
Yeah, but as soon as you bring the autonomous vehicle into it, then that goes away as well. So, like, pretty much you have a robot load those groceries into the car, you have that car drive those groceries to you, and all of a sudden you take all of the human element out of it except for you grabbing all those groceries out of the trunk. So all those jobs, just the delivery driver themselves, the cashiers, the other person who put those groceries into the car, all of that eventually goes away. And is it good? I think
And
so,
it's
because
good?
I don't want to go anywhere.
Nobody does. I think that we just need a big restructure of a lot of different job positions. Like, obviously, people have to maintain these machines, whether it's self-scans in the department stores now or if it's all autonomous like your Amazon Go. They have to fix the sensors, all the cameras need to be maintained because they have to scan the item you just picked up. So they're basically just restructuring. You'll have to probably know a little bit more than, scan.
But I mean, still, it'd be you're replacing like
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
100
but-
jobs with like 2.
Yeah,
For sure.
but other jobs will open because of these new technologies too.
I kind of disagree. I think it's just going to keep shrinking the jobs available, for sure.
Depends where these technologies are built at. I mean, if they're built locally, then people can help
Right.
build those things. And
Ideally, we shouldn't even have jobs. We shouldn't have to waste half our lives going to a job we don't like. If everything's autonomous, I mean, obviously it's not going to happen anyway.
Well, what's the whole point of this setup? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if
yeah.
life's set
Try
up
to
this
make
way,
it-
what's the whole point of this? You know, going to work, having jobs, having companies, building
Yeah.
products, selling products. What is the whole point to all this products and services nonsense, right? And it's really, I mean, the whole point I would think would be to make life better.
Yeah.
So, you know, like if you can make something more efficient and you can, you know, not waste your time at the supermarket and you can spend that with your family and friends or doing whatever the fuck you care about.
True. Yeah.
Like, I think that's a good thing. Obviously, you're going to lose jobs, but you're doing, I mean, society is moving to the whole point of everything, I think, is to make everything better. So, but then the real question is, I guess, what does the aftermath of that look like? Is it actually better? I don't know.
And then, of course, only a matter of time before your own job's gone, and then
For sure. I mean,
what do you do?
yeah.
Got to be something going on out there. I don't have the answers. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's kind of oddly enough, between turning my car on and connecting my phone to the Bluetooth, a commercial for the U.S. Postal Service came on. And it said a couple interesting things. It said, one, that it was founded in 1775, which I just found that interesting for any number of reasons.
Set up by Benjamin Franklin helped create that.
And they now say they offer a service to where you're gonna get an email for like every day for the U.S. Postal Service with every piece of mail that's in your mailbox. So I mean, even at that point, if every piece of mail's in my mailbox is on my phone digitally in there, what the fuck are we doing?
Like, why do we need the
why
paper
why do I
copy
have
of
the
that?
paper? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
pointless.
mean, just like
Because
the
they're not
amount
allowed
of,
to sell your information just to get it. Those
Yeah,
companies
and I know
direct
that
to you, I
that's
guess. I
like
don't know.
halfway like a federal business and halfway like a private business. Like it's not like fully federal. There's really weird laws behind the U.S. Postal Service, but like that seems like really strange. Like I've, almost mid-30s here and have received like 4 or 5 important pieces of things that actually came through the mail, and those things definitely could have been like emailed, but they just happened to come through the mail.
Yeah.
So that I don't see the use of it. But the argument is always just like, but the jobs, we got to keep the jobs. We can't lose that many jobs, and it's just like,
Okay, what happened to the fucking dude that used to make typewriters? You didn't get mad about his job?
John Typewriter.
Yeah, John Typewriter. Fucking.
John Typer.
Fuck John Typewriter. We don't need him no more. You know?
Yeah, I mean that's what I say. I mean, I feel like if it can make something easier and better, and just like you're the reason you don't want to do it is just like, well, we'd lose the jobs. Seems like that's kind of a
It's a
bad
reason.
argument. Yeah, like there's got to be something more than just like, well, people would lose jobs, because it's just like, well, then how about we just don't evolve anything.
And that really is kind of like the exact opposite of even capitalism, right? Because the whole point of capitalism is to provide enough value to make profit at the end. And if you're keeping a business open just for the sake of jobs, and where's the profit at for this capitalism?
Fair.
You know?
I say get rid of them.
Burn them all down.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I've seen some videos at the Amazon Go store. Seems like a really cool concept. It seems insanely efficient, and
Yeah, for sure.
it just seems like it's really cool. It's like only you just. I'd be more prone to like run into like a store like that and just be like, I can run in, I can literally grab the shit, throw it in my backpack,
Yeah.
and walk out.
I want to live in Seattle for the store.
Yeah. So I mean, it's, and you know, I honestly I hate to support Amazon and like anything they do because they're just kind of single-handedly like chipping away
Everything.
at the structure of.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything.
So yeah, it's hard to support them, but at the same time, it's like bring that shit on, man. Fly my groceries to my house. Let me walk into your store and not talk to anyone. Like,
Fly me to your store.
yeah.
Fly me to your store.
Fly me to your
Just
store.
catch it on the way back.
Yeah.
How does the Amazon Go store work for alcohol?
There's a gentleman there who will check your ID.
Okay.
So there's like,
There's one
There's
job.
there's a lot of employees in a store, but they're no different than the employees a store would have, plus cashiers. They just pretty much don't have cashiers. They have people there stocking all the shelves. They have people
Yeah.
there preparing subs that people can walk in. They got a deli guy. They got a guy that's a butcher there that's chopping up fresh meat and putting the meat out there. I mean,
Yeah.
they have like all the normal employees a regular store would have. They just don't have like cashiers. You just walk out.
which I don't know. I think that's actually probably cool. I mean,
It seems more efficient and
yeah.
fantastic way for them to
Yeah. I mean,
save money.
how much time of your life has already been spent standing in line at the grocery store?
A lot.
And not only that, this another thought just came to me. If they were actually being fair about it, I would think, other than the initial investment, all the technology that they have to pay for, if you eliminate jobs and you're paying the same amount out for payroll, then everybody could get a pay increase, and you lose zero profit.
Like
if you're looking at that versus conventional.
They were so confident in like their algorithm where you pick shit up off the shelf and walk away with it. They're like, well, what happens if like I get home and I got a whole bag of groceries that you missed? Amazon was just like, it's on the house. That's how confident we are. Like, that's not going to happen, and if it does, it's yours. So they were just pretty much just like,
Steal
We
from us if
want
you
you
can.
to steal from us.
I mean, then that's what you go in there, you take the shit off your shelf, you put it in your pocket, you put it in your backpack. You're not putting it in like grocery bags. Like you just walk in and start filling your pockets and bags with their stuff, and you just walk out.
So do you have to like sign in when you go into the store?
You have to have the app on your phone. You have your own QR code. It's got like a little like turnstile at the front of it. You scan it in. You can scan in any guest that you want to bring in with you. If they pick up anything and walk out with it, they charge you for it.
Is there a return section before you leave? Like, oh, I have this. I don't want it anymore. I'm setting it here. You know not to charge me.
No, but you can pretty much set it down anywhere in the store,
Okay.
and they won't charge you.
How does that's so strange. I wonder how it all even works.
Super cool.
Seems silly just
It's
for
mostly
get
cameras and
also
just for
like-
sensors.
restocking purposes. That seems silly to be able to set it anywhere in the store and then have to pay this guy to go find that one item to move it again.
I mean, you gotta do that at a regular store anyway.
I just think it would be way easier to be like, set it here, you're gonna get charged for it, because it would just help them clean up the store. I think.
And they might have that. I mean, I'm sure if it wasn't any of the stuff that I saw, but
Either set
that
it back
could've
where you
been-
got it, or set it here.
Still work in progress.
I mean,
for
I've
sure.
seen it. It's all based on weight sensors and location and stuff. And some of the videos they were trying to like trick it and set stuff here and set stuff, walk around the store, then pick it back up, and it was accurate as shit. It was getting everything, and there's no actual return. There's no way to like return stuff right now. So if like you got home and you're just like, oh, this sub I got is bad, or this tea I got is no good, then you could literally just open up your app and just go like, yeah, this sucked, and they're just like, all right, here's your money back. There's like that's literally as easy as that, and it just shows up.
I would
like-
assume for some things it's going to be different. Like higher ticket items, people would be like,
There's not really any. It's like not even like really a full grocery store. It's more of like a convenience store.
it's like a 7-Eleven.
They got like half gallons of milk, like
if they ever start adding things that are more expensive, like, I'm going to buy this pack of laser condoms that are $300 and you can't return them because
For sure.
laser condoms can't do
Yeah.
that.
So I don't think there's any like high ticket items in there. Probably alcohol.
Xbox One.
Yeah, it's probably the most expensive shit.
Are laser condoms reusable?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they
That's
take
the whole
they
point.
take care of the problem over here apparently.
Gotcha. You only need one laser condom. One
No,
condom. to
no,
rule them
no,
all.
no, no. Need multiple colors.
Oh, okay. Depends on what type of mood you're in.
But yeah, I mean that's something that's happening, and
Yeah.
you know they
I'm
did
excited.
just buy all the Whole Foods, so you know that shit's coming.
Yeah.
And Whole Foods, just walk in, grab your shit, walk out.
It's exciting because it's like that's so cool. It's gonna become more and more and more efficient and get to that point where it's like a jobless world where it's just super efficient and amazing to go get the shit you just need. But at the same time, that could go very, very badly. Like I've seen Terminator. You know what I mean? Like
It's on its way.
I think the number one thing that's going to doom that thing is the no return policy. That's got to change.
They're using it now. Yeah, I mean they know they gotta change something.
Yeah.
they'll just hire one more dude in each store to do returns. It's not even-
Also, their reasoning behind their policy on that right now was just like the amount of money we save by not having to pay for certain things you'd have to pay for to have all these cashiers, including all the shit on the back end, training, fucking shrink. Like they're like we're not gonna have any shrink. Like if you take it, we're gonna fucking charge you for it.
Yeah.
Like
I think one way to do it would
we're
be
gonna make
to
up the money that way.
just have a box that you have at your house or something like that. And like if you're returning more than $35 worth of stuff, they'll provide a shipping label for free or something. If not, you pay for shipping.
I don't know. When you're dealing with
Ship it
food, that
back.
gets kind of.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes it's just pointless. Like they don't
spoiler
want that
stuff,
shit
yeah.
back. Like
And I don't
just
think
throw it
they
away.
want any of that shit back anyway, because it's just like
You
we
can't
don't know
resell
what
it.
you fucking you may have
Yeah.
opened it and like did something with it, and we have no way of knowing what you did to these cheese slices in the corners of them.
And usually if it's something damaged anyways, if they start carrying more expensive stuff, like say they sell Xbox Ones, and then you're like returning that, like you have to pay somebody to check it. You're also sending it back to Microsoft. You might get your money back from the company,
Right.
might not. So there's that
Yeah.
too.
So do
where-
you think a refund should have a restocking policy, a restocking fee sort of thing?
I don't
I
know.
mean, if you have this gallon of milk or something like that that actually cost Amazon, I don't know, let's say $1 to get, but they charged you $3.50 for it. Should you have to pay that $1? Like they'll reimburse you the $2.50 for it, but
I just feel
essentially
like it's just not.
you eat the cost, but we'll eat the profit.
They might structure it down the road like that if it starts adding up. But I think, like Rob was saying, like the amount that it's saving right now, they'll just eat all that cost.
And I think with that system, like I'm sure there would be some assholes out there that would abuse it.
Oh, for
that
sure.
Would like,
For
"Yeah,
sure.
I walk by it and I get this fucking awesome ass sub, and then I return it every day. Like they would.
They would just
I'm
flag 'em
sure
for fraud, I'm
they
sure.
would just be like, this guy,
Can't
like,
come in.
yeah, like he
You're
scans
no
his
longer
QR
welcome-
code.
welcome,
It's just
I
like
guess.
you're a piece of shit. We watch you take that every day.
Did you guys hear about that? Kind of the same kind of thing. Where a guy was working for not Amazon directly, but one of their delivery courier people, one of their partners, and like stole somebody's dog.
Oh yeah, I actually did see that.
And that person wrote a letter to Jeff, like wrote an email directly to Jeff Bezos.
Somebody stole my dog.
Yeah, it was like, dude, one of your people stole my dog, and dude got his dog back and everything.
crazy.
It was crazy, but
Jeff Bezos shows up to his house with laser condoms and he freaks out.
yeah, like they're just like
okay,
like
Mr. Government.
literally
Whatever.
emailed Jeff Bezos, and that shit got handled. Like I don't know. I feel like the guy who gets the free
Jeff
sub
Bezos
is probably
was
just
like,
gonna
"Hey
get
Alexa,
fucked up.
where's that guy's dog?" And it was like right here, and he was just like, "We'll get it back to him." And he
You know
just,
Jeff
like,
Bezos.
That was all he did.
Jeff Bezos stole it.
He's just sitting at his house, he's like petting his dog. He's like, "Where did you get this dog? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. We'll be all right."
Jeff Bezos could do anything, get away with
He
it.
just cloned his dog before he gave it back.
He
so
responds
had his
to
own.
that email. I know.
I know.
Is this
I
it?
saw it.
Selfie.
Selfie with the dog.
I got your dog.
Guess what? I'm coming for your cat next.
So that'll lead us into our last story here. Well, I guess let's go around. I mean, like it sounds like you're like if it's as long as it's better for people.
I say suck the jobs away, man. Like, I think we need a better solution for paying for stuff if we do that. But yeah, I'm down for the cashless society. No work, no play.
You already got the fucking cashierless scan yourself out anyway, and that shit pisses me off the most because they're just
it's
like
so inefficient.
Well, I don't like them because I'm like, I don't fucking work here.
Yeah.
You do this part.
So much faster though.
Yeah, the majority of the time it is faster.
Working
but
in retail,
And there's also the
so convenient.
exact opposite where like I'll go to a particular establishment and get this. I'll get
Particular
this
establishment.
this like
fucking
Japanese
place.
candy I like where it tastes like it's so good. It tastes like strawberry milk candy. It's like a little strawberry marshmallow essentially, and it's just there's not a lick of English on the package. And it seems like every time I buy it, like the person picks it up and they're just looking at it and they're like, and I'm just like, you put it in the fucking bag, Cheech. Let's go. And they're like, do you know what this is? And I'm like, yeah, it's candy. And they're just like, is it good? I'm just like, yeah, I'm buying it. And they're always like, do you know what this says? And I'm just like, no. Put it in the bag.
Put it in the
all
fucking bag.
Like I get to the point of like where I'll like go to buy it and I'm just like I don't even want to deal with someone
It's like I'm gonna buy
asking
this.
me these same like it's always the same shit every time. They're just like, what is it? What do you know about it? Can you read it? And it's just like you scan it and you put it in the bag, and then I give you the money and I leave.
Or even the small talk of these.
Oh,
How's the weather out there?
today
It's so nice and sunny.
I had one of some moments and
Just say it's weather.
like if they would have
Shut
been
'em
a
down.
loaded gun within reach, I probably would have just been like, I was opening the door for someone as I was leaving
Yeah,
like a gas
burst fire.
station, and the door kind of like pushed it open, and I was like, the door's gonna hold it open today, and they were like, oh, that's cool, and I was just like, what the fuck have I become? I just made a comment on the weather. People laughed at it.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the only bad part about missing that is because like they're forced to laugh really because I mean it's either laugh or like
Stare at them.
stare at you.
That's-
So you always
some people are
you get a little bit of a confidence
Legitimately
booster
laughing.
from small talk. I think. Well, some people do. I don't
I'm
need the
here, my
confidence
name's
booster.
did immediately.
Be done with that shit.
If there would have been a bus driving by, it would just right in front of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, the whole topic has kind of been covered. Like, is there anything else that you might want to add? I mean, we kind of started going to what you were going to talk
Yeah.
about anyway.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is I love it all. I'm really worried about an unfortunate artificial intelligence situation, and I'm not even necessarily worried about artificial intelligence being the problem.
This was going to be the one episode. The one episode we
Wasn't
made it
brought
all
up.
the way through without
Tell
AI.
now.
Well, how are these stores working? This shit doesn't run by magic, folks.
Yes, it does.
But so like people, it's not even necessarily the AI I'm worried about. It's the people who have the AI under their complete control, and then we're all using that AI. So indirectly, we're under. It's just another level of just nonsense. I don't know. It could be desperately bad. Could be the most amazing thing ever too. But I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It seems like every single week, someone a lot smarter than us comes out and is just like, "We gotta fucking stop now. We're at the fucking precipice.
Yeah.
It's about to get really bad."
Yeah. The atomic clock is set to like 2 minutes to midnight right now. It's like the closest. No, like legitimately.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I read it like.
But I don't think it's because of that. It was more of like the nuclear.
Yeah,
shit.
oh, for sure. But like, it's all connected. You know what I mean? It's all part of the same system.
Yeah, nuke AIs. The same.
No, but I'm saying like it's all part of like the if AI were to go bad, it's in the hands of like
You've seen
evil
the,
people.
Well, you've seen the technology that they use for nukes, right? They have like the oldest like
It's
PCs
the worst
and
shit.
everything.
It's on
So,
like a.
It's not controlled by
fucking-
AI by any means.
No, I'm pretty sure they do that on purpose.
Yeah,
They have the
yeah.
majority of it like on
Floppy
floppy disks because
Yeah.
like, how easy is it to hack a floppy disk?
Oh, yeah.
right.
Way harder than it is to hack like a
Yes,
SD
unless
card
you
or
have
something.
eBay. You can just fucking get a floppy disk cloner.
All right. Do we have anything else this week? I think.
Well,
Oh,
basically,
you had another. I thought you had something you were
I
gonna.
think he tacked it on ears already.
Yeah, we just
Well,
kind of mixed it in as best we
Okay.
could.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it needs a little bit further explanation though. Just because, like, as far as if everything goes, let's just say we've succeeded and we're living in a great world now where there are no jobs and AI hasn't destroyed everyone. How do people, pay for goods and services if there are no jobs? How do you get, what do you do? what is there? You know, how does that work? Is capitalism still a thing? So obviously it's going to have to, if it is a thing, it can't be in its current form, because everybody would just be broken homeless, and, you know, Amazon drones would be flying around just taunting people. There'd be nobody to deliver anything to.
Shit.
Well, if everybody wants to stay at home, there's going to be a lot more people needing to maintain the delivery system, to maintain these cameras at all these Amazon stores that'll be in every city, to maintain the security of these.
You're still talking like
the return guy, the butcher, is still going to be there for a little bit at least, until like we have artificial meat that's just growing and we can just take a pill.
I don't know. Even then, you're to a point where you have so few people actually working, or if everybody's working, it's only a 4-hour work week, which is fantastic. But what do you do? Do you pay someone like $4,000?
Well, it's just like
for 4 hours of work.
The same fear automotive plants had when like machines started coming in, like people freaking out, like, oh man, these are going to take all of our jobs.
But they basically have.
A lot of them, yeah. But
I think that's a perfect example of like something
just
that could be done by all machines and probably
way more efficient.
100% more efficiently. But it's just one of those things where they just go, the jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the jobs?
But there's still tons of people working in production plants just all around the U.S. still.
Percentage-wise, though, not
For that
even
reason.
A lot less
not
than was in the 80s, for sure.
Not even close. Fraction.
Nothing's going to happen tomorrow for any of this.
Yeah, but look how quick the internet changed the world. Could you have seen the world we live in today 10 years ago and actually been like we were talking about earlier, Idiocracy, been like, holy shit, like in such a short time span since that movie came out, like the world has changed to that, you know? And this could go the same route, but then what happens, you know, if we don't have a solution for it by then, if we don't have a way to distribute wealth to make it, and it doesn't even have to be considered wealth, it doesn't matter what you call it or anything at that point, but people are going to have to be able to live. You can't.
Oh my god, we're gonna be paying these fucking AI robots to be like, they're gonna be going out and doing jobs for us. That's how we're all gonna get our money. Just like instead of us going out, like
hell yeah,
he gets in the car and the car drives him somewhere and he does your job, and then you like get to see in real time how much money he's making for you, and you're just like, oh shit, he just fucking sold a yacht.
I've always wanted to just clone myself and make that person go to work for me, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, until that person wants to clone themselves and make somebody else go to work.
But the problem is, at this point, if you're born poor into a poor family, and you don't have the means to buy this robot to do these things, it's just the same repeating cycle again. You're gonna have a few people that have all the robots, just like there's a few people right now, Amazon, Walmart. There's a group of like 30 dudes that have like 90% of the world wealth.
No.
Well, essentially,
I mean,
it's true.
There's a lot of stuff you can do, like working from home, that just require a bunch of like clicking links. And it's just painstaking work that is no fun for anybody. And what I would do is not have my robot go to work for me. I would have him pretty much just use my computer 24/7 and generate revenue that way.
Well, I also think that coding and everything, like for making these machine learning AIs and everything, is going to be the future, and the people that don't want to adapt to that, fuck them.
Well, I think there's going to be, like, no matter what, there's still not going to be enough jobs to go around.
There is. It seems like there's not right now.
Yeah, there's not right now.
Like,
there
I
already
already feel like
even well, and then there's another even element to this where 10% of humanity right now, like. The U.S. Army has a, like, I can't remember what the number is, but if you have an IQ below a certain number, like, they're like, no, there's nothing here we can let you do. And it's not like, you know, everybody goes and signs up for the Army. They're always begging for people. And so, like, even they won't let people with below a certain IQ, like, you can't do anything that's actually going to be productive for us. So now you have, and that's 10%.
Yeah.
So if you have 10% of the population already, they can't even get a job at the fucking U.S. Army. Like, what do you do in the world?
Where do you put them?
Yeah, exactly. And you can't just throw them into the street and
ditches need to
grind
be dug.
them up. You know what I mean? It's
you can't throw them in the street. Throw them in the ditch.
That's what I got out of that too.
How am I supposed to get to the?
I don't know. I just think in order for it to work, it has to not be capitalism no more.
What's the solution?
I have no clue. I just don't think there can't.
Yeah. It has to be completely restructured.
Something's got to change.
Wealth has to be evenly distributed, but not evenly distributed at the same time.
I know we need to wrap this up here, but there's this little bit I actually wanted to read at the beginning of my topic here, because it's about last month and the jobs that were created here. So I'm just going to read this little article from TheBalance.com. and they're talking about growth. So it says the U.S. economy gained 164,000 jobs in April 2018. The economy needs 150,000 new jobs every month to keep expanding. Although the job growth was below the minimum, the Federal Reserve will probably continue raising interest rates. So that was also... So I didn't know it was like they raise their interest rates based on like job availability. Which
it's all a big game.
It doesn't matter
it's a racket.
what they do it for, but it's always
Yeah.
strange to be like, oh, that's an interesting thing to do it for.
Yeah.
So it says healthcare added 29,300 jobs, but it seems like they pretty much came down to like we're losing jobs at about 150,000 a month, so we need to be growing, have more
Like
than 150.
300,000.
Yeah, ideally you'd want to be adding more than 14,000 is what that.
Do you think that
eventually
helps
comes through?
contribute, like that idea, like helps compound the problems that you see in an idiocracy, like just forcing
the
work to make
fact-
work happen?
Yeah, like the fact like we even
Making
measure
dumb
it by
people.
such a way, like
Yeah. Like
could just be
if you take a bunch of people and make them do a bunch of just worthless
silly
stuff for
nonsense
like 8 or 10 hours
for
at
this.
a time.
Yeah.
because it's someone's job to have more jobs than less jobs.
Yeah.
And how easy it'd be to be like, oh well, now there's sweeping dust off the grass in the park. That's 1,000 jobs, and they just like add 1,000 jobs to this list, and someone's probably not even doing those jobs, but either way, they're meaningless fucking jobs that no one should really be doing.
Right.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. A little interesting thing about last month is like they're like, oh, we got 164,000 jobs, but technically it was only like 14,000
Yeah, because they lost
increase.
so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to change.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll
so it's
add on
got it's got to
It's gotta
change.
change or it's gonna be fucked up. Way worse than it is now.
Oh, for sure. Idiocracy 2. Reality.
Everybody, thank you for joining our sponsor. It's got electrolytes.
Perfect.
Fantastic. If you're still here with us, we'd like to thank you a lot. You are a rare breed to make it to the end, and you're the coolest in my book.
Putting up with our bullshit.
I think my two heroes over here would probably agree with me, and they'd like you to like and subscribe if you like what you saw. Hit that bell if you want to be notified when these come out. We are shooting for Friday 9 a.m. Shit happens. It doesn't always get done, but that's what we're shooting for. and we're
Friday
gonna
at
try
9
to be
a.m.
there.
is our schedule.
That
It
is
will
the
happen.
schedule. It will happen.
Happenstance.
If it's not, you can blame Ray.
Yep.
That's right.
Also, let us know if you guys like our logo. We're thinking about maybe making some T-shirts or some hats or something. If you want something like that, let us know, and we might get some made for you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Raise funding at all.
We're putting.
not.
I wanted to get some neti pots with our logo on it.
I
What
love
the
it.
fuck is a
I love
neti
it.
pot?
It's that thing where you pour water from one nostril and it goes around your brain several times and it comes out your other nostril.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it works. And it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Neti pot.
So make sure to like, subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to click the little bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Leave some comments. You have a cool enough comment, we'll pin you.
Yeah. And
We'll give you the pin.
another really big thing too. Hold on. Before the snaps begin.
You can't stop.
Sounded like they already started. If you guys have any ideas for future topics for us, please feel free
Yeah,
to
if
share
you
them
wanna-
with us too.
yeah, we don't mind.
We
We'll
don't
cover
we don't
anything.
take
That's
any of
what I'm
them seriously unless they're in the comments section on YouTube. So
Yeah, we would
Good
love to
idea.
shit over what you think we should have. We should have it as a topic.
Well, Ray will.
yeah,
We'll
shit
take
over
it.
everything, but that's
Seriously.
usually meaning I like it.
And then if you
Depends.
like or
Really
dislike
depends.
any of us, let us know that in the comments too. I want to know.
Snappy Deppy, folks.
God damn it, that's a good one to end up.